it's always so difficult, to start. So I'm just so thrilled. Thank you so much for doing, Tsushi. John Percy, as you know, wrote this book, 1946. He did not come back to Hiroshima for 40 years. He came back to Hiroshima and he wrote Aftermath. So today, when you pick up the book at the bookstore, it's the original book and the additional part, Aftermath, is in the one book. It's, as you know, it's the 6 main characters. And when Joe Hersey wrote this Aftermath, the Koko is about page or page and a half, is in the book. Joe Hersey was, getting old, 70-some years old. So the story about me is not correct. Like when I graduated or when I went to met my father, it's not correct. But I didn't complain because I am not the main character in the book. But one thing I have to say to him, this is very important for me. So I said to Mr. Hersey, Mr. Hersey, I am not the boy. I am a girl. Well, in this book, when he wrote in this book, maybe I should say this way. I complained to him, then he said, Koko, do you have a book? So I said, yes, I do. Then he said, give me a book. And he wrote very nicely, for Koko Tanimoto, who stand out in this book as an arrow, for which my apologies. Parenthesis, page 41, on parenthesis, and warm wishes, John Hersey. Of course, I have to check the page 41, so I did. Page 41, he did this. He was kindly cross out infant son, because I'm a daughter. Then he put a daughter. Maybe 1946, when he met me, I was only a year old. So maybe I didn't have any much hair. At that time, we didn't have any much clothes. That's why maybe he thought I was a boy. Or Joe Hersey, grown up in China. He was a missionary's son. So in China, of course, boys, at that time, very important. So maybe that's why he put, the boy instead of girl. Well, after he changed that, I'm very appreciated. Because today's world, some people change the, sex. So I have to be very clear with that. Okay. My father's church was located at close to the center of Hiroshima. This is a map of Hiroshima right after the disaster. The Hiroshima stand on the delta. This red part is the fire. And the church is here, about 900 meters or 800 meters away from hypocenter. That means from ground zero. That morning, what's happened to me? I wanted to know for a long time, but if I ask my parents what's happened to me on that day, they have to recall August 6, 1945. As a daughter, that's too painful for them to recall. So I never asked them directly. But through my father's book or his speech, I learned little by little. This was my father's first book, No More Hiroshimas. It's written in Japanese. And later he wrote about Hiroshima Genbaku America Jin. The Tanban, Hiroshima, and American. And through those books, I start learning what's happened. About 10 years ago, finally my mother told me, face to face. The August 6, 1945, that day was a clear day. And until that day, we always had silent. Air raid.
Yeah.
That morning, air raid was clear, so people started going out from the building. That time, I was only an 8-month-old baby. Usually, 8-month-old baby in Japan is crawling on tatami mat, less in the room. But just happened to be we had a guest. One of the church members visited my mother. So my mother picked me up. She started, holding me in her arm and talking to this lady. 8:15, the whole house crashed. This church parsonage was located about 1.1 kilometer from ground zero. My mother told me first, she was unconscious because everything was toppled on her. So first she heard the little baby's crying voice. So she thought, oh, some babies are crying. Then suddenly, no sound whatsoever. This is mother's instance. She knew something happened. Then she realized it was not somebody's baby. It was her baby. Me inside of my mother's arms.